Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for the support. I'm really grateful. I want to put out there the best. I want people to appreciate the content, and I want to be honest about everything because sharing is the only way we can get to know a lot of things. If we don't share, then you are not learning. Actually, when you share, you are learning. When you share anything you are learning in the process. It gives me joy and happiness when I share knowledge to the audience out there because I know I'm learning and I know they are learning. As you know, this channel is specifically for motivation because in life I discovered that there are things that we all pursue because we want to be successful. There are things that we want to become. There are things that we dream of. But at times in the process of realizing our dreams, we give up. Is it because we want to give up? No. It's because we don't have hope. And hope is very hard to instill it in yourself by doing all the work yourself, because it's very difficult to convince yourself that you're going to be successful. Yet it is the very first important thing that you must have in order to keep that fire burning, that zeal, that energy that you want to become something, that you want to do something. Some people have that quality that they can convince themselves, they can get the courage to do what they want. But not so many people have that kind of courage. That is why I came up with this channel, so that we can talk about these things, we can share knowledge, we can motivate one another in this world that is full of competition, in this world that without the courage to do work, you are not going to go anywhere. So today's topic is about the struggles of life. They are very real. This life is full of struggles. And the unfortunate thing about those struggles is that once you believe in them, that you are struggling in life and it's very hard to get up on your feet and you're going to stay like that forever, then I think you don't have a journey to success. You are doomed. But it is very important to remember that they should not be the defining moment of your life. Struggles in life are everywhere. Struggles in life are part of life. But they are not a defining moment of your life. They just mean that you need to push yourself a little further to see the light at the end of the tunnel, which is very possible because so many people began with these struggles in life. And we are going to look at them as a way of being inspired to work harder, because these are people we know that are successful today. These are people we know that you could say they have it all, but the question is, do you know their background? Do you know where they came from to be where they are? You may not know that, but it is very important to know that in order to understand why it is very important not to be let down by the struggles in life. Instead, looking at them as a lesson to improve yourself better, to do your work better so that you can achieve your goal in life. Today we are going to look at Katy Perry. Katy Perry Most of us know who Katy Perry is. Katy Perry is an American singer and songwriter. Her story is very sad and touching, that if you are the one in her shoes, chances are high that you would give up so soon. But she didn't. At most, people know the name Katy Perry. But do they know the struggles that she went through to eventually be where she is right now, today? Well, she started her career by dropping out of high school. That was in 1999, because she wanted to take on singing as her career. So she went and joined her parents, who were born again Christians. By singing in the choir. She became a gospel singer. In 2001, she released her first philosophy reader with Red Hill Records, which was commercially unprofitable. After dealing only 200 clones of her reader, the record company desisted operations and later went out of business. So that was a major blow on the part of Katy Perry, because Red Hill Records, where she released her first gospel album, became commercially unsuccessful. And the company ceased operations, thereby running out of business. As a major blow in her life, she decided to do popular music and move to Los Angeles. She decided to record with the producer Glen Ballard. Glen Ballard. In 2003, she signed to Island Def Jam. Which was also a contract that was terminated. In 2004, she signed with Columbia Records, who sought to make her the lead voice in a band called The Matrix. Still, that deal also failed when Columbia Records remitted the design at about 80 completion. So Columbia Records fell out of the deal with her. You may have thought that probably that was it. She was not going to pursue her career in singing. This lady said, no, I'm not giving up. I'm going to find that day that I'm going to come out and be recognized as a successful musician. She did not give up. She decided to pursue her career in music She never ever thought about dropping out of music. No, she didn't. So after being dropped from 3 labels, she continued to pursue her career. She worked odd jobs and did backup vocals until she was signed to the newly formed Capitol Music Group. That was in 2006. It was there that she decided to work on her first huge hit single. And we all know this huge hit single. It was I Kissed a Girl. You know that huge single that she did, I Kissed a Girl? It made her music career blow. To this very day, we know Katy Perry. You mentioned Katy Perry, everyone's ears knows who she is because she struggled at the beginning and to the end of the day, she made it in life. She decided to define for us the real meaning of struggles in life. With that, not giving up from the very beginning, after signing for various record labels and failing to make it with them, here she comes and she signs this deal and produces a song that blows up her career, that promotes her career, that makes her, Katy Perry, the one we know today. The other popular person we are going to talk about today is Jay-Z. Jay-Z had a knack for rhythm. He had several roadblocks on his way to success. In 1995, when Jay-Z tried to strike a record deal, not a single label would want to sign him. It made him establish his own record company called Rockefeller Records, with partners Damon Dash and Kareem Biggs. Jay-Z worked tirelessly to strike a distribution deal for his first album release. And eventually, he successfully negotiated a contract with Priority, later releasing his debut album entitled Reasonable Doubt, which would eventually go on to hit the platinum. Jay-Z met with many failures along the road. Those failures weren't just in the beginning of his career, but the beginning does highlight a lot of things. Things like resistance that he faced to achieve his success. But today we know who Jay-Z is, don't we? He's a husband to Beyoncé. He is one of the most successful rappers today. And his music is still making him money. So even though he had a rough start in business, he didn't give up. And eventually it led him to where he is today. Usually people don't give credit to politics, but there is this one man we cannot leave out, Mahatma Gandhi. Why should we bring politics? Because success is in every field. Usually people prefer bloodshed to bring about change, which is unfortunate because we lose a lot of people during the struggles. which involve bloodshed. But here is one Indian guy called Mahatma Gandhi, a lawyer, a politician, and an activist. He led the struggle for social justice and for India's independence from British rule. He had a doctrine that he followed, a doctrine of non-violent protest to achieve political and social progress. So he decided to take a path of non-violence. And guess what? He succeeded, because his dream for his country's independence finally became a reality on August 15th, 1947. Non-violent. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, there are non-violent ways you can achieve success. If you're a politician, do not think about causing assassinations. You kill people to gain fame. You kill people to achieve a goal. Killing someone to get out of your way in order to get political office isn't the solution. The solution is to attract the interest of the citizens or the people that you want to believe you, by giving them your agenda, and if your agenda is in agreement with the desires of the people, they will put you in office. There are better ways than violence, because violence does not solve anything. It only causes chaos. And this one man gave us an example when he helped India to gain her independence through non-violent ways. The other motivation story comes from Nelson Mandela. We all know Nelson Mandela, the first Black African or South African president. He was the first Black South African president. After a very difficult period in South Africa, which was very unfortunate, but he came up with a quote. And he said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got up again. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." So he says he had a history of falling down and pushing himself back up. So him being successful was not just an accident. He had to struggle to be successful. Remember, he went to prison for over 20 years just because of what he believed in. A society free from discrimination. A society that believed in equality before the law. But he paid by going to prison. The years he spent in prison united the people of South Africa. They demanded for his release. And eventually, when he was released, he became South Africa's first Black president. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, In the political setting, there are ups and downs. But when you fall down, you have to push yourself up. You don't have to give up because of one setback. So Nelson Mandela tells us that we don't judge him by his successes, but we judge him by the times he had to get back up on his feet. The times he had fallen down and had to get back on his feet. And when you look back at those times, you know the struggles he went through. So even with success in so many areas of business, when your business makes a loss today, it should not be the end of it. Find out what caused the business loss today. Why am I not getting customers? What am I doing wrong? When you find that, you will get the solution. Is it because you are not advertising? Is it because there is competition in the neighborhood? What do they have that you don't have? Can you even do it better than they do it? Can you add something that they don't have to attract more customers to your place? Competition is healthy because it helps your mind to be creative and even serve society better. He is a guy that you all know from comedy, a very popular guy, very funny guy, and probably will know most of his movies because he has been in so many movies that have been a hit. This guy is none other than Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey had a rough start in life. Yes, he had a rough start in life. He grew up from a low-income family, and the family struggled to keep jobs because they were unemployed, employed today, unemployed tomorrow. So Jim Carrey had a difficult start, which led him to even drop out of school at the age of 15. He had to get a job as a janitor just to help support the family. So he got a job as a janitor. So when he got his first stand-up comedy, it was at a club called Yuk Yuk in Toronto. Unfortunately, the audience did not receive him well. He was bored off stage. You know when you stand in front of the audience and all you hear is boo, boo, get off the stage, we don't want to hear you, you're boring, we don't want you, get off the stage, what did you come here to do, boo, 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 boo. Oh my God, just imagine yourself in his shoes at that moment. If you had stage fright at the moment before you even got on that stage, imagine when you get that kind of audience. Will you ever go back to stage to try your luck again? Or would you say, no, I'm not going to go back, I would rather try something else than getting booed by the audience? So this guy said, no, I'm not going to give up. He later decided to audition for Saturday Night Live in the 1980s. In the 1980s, he failed to land the part. So what did he do? This guy is going to amaze you. He's going to amaze you. He has failed to land a part in the Saturday Night Live. He has been off stage where he had been bored. So he decides to write a figure of money, or should we say a check, in his wallet of $10 million for acting services rendered. He placed it in his wallet and kept it for 7 years. Guess what? It's the very amount of money that he was paid for in the movie that he worked on, Dumb and Dumber. When he was acting in that movie, he was paid that very amount of money that he wrote and put in his wallet. That very amount of money was the motivation to him. He wanted to get $10 million. And guess what? Because he believed in it, he got it in a movie called Dumb and Dumber. When you believe in something, why not work hard for it? Because you never know when you're going to get it. So this guy believed in it and he eventually got it. There is nothing that you cannot achieve in life when you believe and work hard towards it. So from Jim Carrey, we know that when you believe and work hard, you can achieve anything that you would want to have in life. The other person that we're going to look at today is Stephen King. Stephen King is a novel writer. And before his success today, he was rejected 30 times before he finally published a novel. Rejected 30 times, as in who goes on even for 10 times, even 5 times. Once you are rejected, some people don't even go to 3 times. But he is a guy who is rejected 30 times until he finally makes a breakthrough. What does it show us? Persistence. Persistence to work harder and see that you get to your dreams. Persistence into doing what you love most because you believe in it and that you know that one day you will have to make it in life. This was Stephen King. So ladies and gentlemen, you want to be a novel writer. Write. Get rejected. Write again. Get rejected. Write, because the more you're rejected, the more you decide to work on improving your work and you get closer to your success each and every time you are rejected. So eventually King had to make it because he knew where the mistakes were and eventually had his breakthrough as a successful novel writer. As we all know, most of his work today has been even turned into movies. If you're a writer and your work has been turned into movies, then you know you are a success. So the other person that we have to talk about today is Bill Gates. We all know who Bill Gates is. When you talk about Microsoft, you talk about Bill Gates, because Bill Gates is the picture of Microsoft. So even Bill Gates suffered failure in business. How? His first business was a failure. Truth or data? Was made a partnership between Paul Allen, Paul Gilbert, and Bill Gates. The goal of this business was to create reports for roadway engineers from road traffic data. The company achieved a little bit of success while processing the road traffic data to generate some income. But the machine that they had built to process the data did not work as planned when they tried to present it to a Seattle County traffic employee. Yet this business helped to set Gates and his partner Paul Allen up for major success with Microsoft. Although Gates failed at his first business, it didn't discourage him from trying again. He put together a company that revolutionized the personal computing market. Microsoft, as we know it, is the most or one of the most successful businesses today that Gates has worked on. Microsoft Word, Microsoft Windows. Imagine how many computers are out there that run on Microsoft. Each and every day he makes a living because they also believe in his work. So you don't give up on a dream. You just work hard to improve on your dream, and one day you will realize your dream. Ladies and gentlemen, today's program was all about struggles in life, and of all the people that we have seen today, we have realized that they have something in common. They have struggled, they have had persistence, and they have realized their dreams. When you have persistence in what you are doing and you love what you are doing, eventually you realize your goal, you realize your dream. So that is what these people had in common. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate the time that we come here to learn, the time we put in so that we can improve our lives. I just appreciate so much. Thank you.